That's a beautiful thing. And I think what you're talking about in terms of love and freedom, two things, especially in being a woman, um, non-binary, black, identifying, a parent, all those things that you are, the languages you speak. We haven't even talked about that, but I happen to know that. Um, it's funny because people find themselves going into entrepreneurship or owning their own business to get freedom from sometimes the workplace.
That's right.
Um, but in your case, your business has started at birth, or at least in your early 20s, I understand. So you've been at this a long time. Even from what I understand from you on video, is that you've been coaching and advising people decades older than you were at the
Yeah.
time. And so being a wise person, what I really want to understand is the kind of freedom you have owning your own business. What is that about? Why didn't you go get a W-2 from some folks and just get a job like that?
You girl, I tried for like 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, I tried, and what I found so quickly was that the workplace is a disaster. It is a disaster that is just wreaking havoc on people's emotional and physiological well-being. I had to stop working in traditional contexts because the number of times that I had to leave an organization because they expected me to compromise my personal values in service of their mission, vision, and goals. Like there were some times when my college graduated kids and my older 20 something kids were very young. There were some times when it was straight up ramen noodles. Is the internet working okay?
I think
Are
so.
you
I
good?
can hear
Okay.
you fine. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so there were definitely some ramen, season of ramen noodles of there being less food around because I was not willing to do things that were not okay with my heart and my morals for a paycheck,
That's right.
right? And not everyone is willing to make that decision or can make that decision. I understand that that was a decision that I made, and I was willing to take the hit, but I ended up creating a workplace that I wanted to work in. And I have, from the very beginning of my organization, from the time that, I started a virtual company before that was a thing. So when I first started my company, I literally was like, okay, I took time. I was one semester shy of graduating when I decided to run off and go start my family because I wanted 12 children, but that's a whole nother story. So I ended
That's
up
my
having to
other
go
talk
back.
show. That's my
Oh
other
my
talk show.
gosh. Oh my gosh. I went back, started from the beginning, got my degree online, and I literally built my company like one class at a time in business school. As I was learning these concepts, I was like building up the company. And within 18 months, I left my full-time job and I never really went back. It was unbelievable. And so when I did that, I had what I was in the beginning. It was business management and marketing that was my focus because I figured out that having worked in so many different kinds of jobs and industries and things and connecting with people, I had this very profound sense of what the customer needs, what the organization wants, how to monetize a thing, how to sell it, how to position it. Like that was instinctual. So I went to business school to kind of, to monetize and make a career out of that.
Mhm.
And in that space, what I did was I found that I kept finding these clients who needed support and they needed more than I could offer. And
Mhm.
so I had gone to art school, among other things. And so I connected with videographers, with graphic designers, with all these different people who had adjacent related things. And I was like, look, got this project. They got a couple of $10,000-$20,000. They're trying to spend this money. Let's make this thing happen. And I would pull together a team. And that was like in the beginning of the internet days and the email days. The T-Mobile Sidekick 2
Mhm.
was the device that made that, like, that's when I started my business. Like that was the moment where I was like, holy moly, I can be soccer mom cheering on my kid and
Yes.
and,
They'll
and
get
right there with a
handling your
client at the same
business.
time.
Handling your business.
What? I was like, this Gemini was so happy. I was like, technology communications, I can communicate. So we did that. And then after spending some time in marketing, and I was good at it. It was great work, but I quickly figured out that, I did have to survive the 2008 economic downfall, and that was a whole, tumultuous thing. But the ultimate realization was that these organizations, and I focused on entrepreneurs, small businesses, nonprofits, artists, the spaces where my heart was. So in the economy, tanked. They didn't have a lot of money to begin with. They had even
Right.
less after that. But what I found was that everybody wanted to put money into their marketing. They wanted more customers, more sales. And when I went in and I looked at them and I felt the soul of their company, it was what became really clear was you don't have a marketing problem. You have an internal people systems problem. You got a whole other thing going on. And so I started interfacing with my mother more, and like just 100%, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. My mother said to me, I did a stint of theater. I was doing children's theater, acting. My mom was like, Tiffany, your stage presence is so amazing. You'd actually be really good in a training room. Like, you should come and work with me and do diversity work. And I'm 20 something young. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to be a diversity trainer. She was like, baby girl, I'll pay you $100 an hour. I was like, I
I'm
want to be
in.
a diversity trainer. And that's all she wrote. She was right. I loved it. Like, you immediately feel the impact of change and people's minds and hearts being moved and being inspired. So I went up under her tutelage officially, and she actually assigned me to somebody else so that I didn't have to work with her. It was really great. And then that was it. It was a few years of working with her, and then I split off and I iterated on her model. Hers is more of a lifestyle business. She sells her time. She works with people one-on-one, and sometimes she'll pull the teams together. And I was like, no, like, I went to business school. I want to build an enterprise. I want a machine. I learned, like, one of my favorite quotes about business that I learned. I'm so glad I heard it early on. It was from a packet of cassette tapes to help you get out of debt. Okay, it was like, get your behind out of debt, cassette tapes in 12 easy cassette tapes. You're gonna get out of debt. Well, I listened to them 12 cassette tapes, and on one of them it says, if you are on the beach in Maui sipping on a Mai Tai and you own a company, and if you're not making money while you're sitting on that beach catching sun and sipping Mai Tais, you don't own a business, you own a job. That changed
Profound.
my life. I was like, what? So from that point, I calibrated to make sure that when I am sleeping, when I am eating, when I am on my bleisure, business takes me somewhere and I stay an extra week because it's somewhere I want to be. No matter where I am in the world, the enterprise is always making impact, making money. And so I actually do love business for its own sake. I love the enterprise system. I love the way that the economy runs. It definitely needs some tweaking and perfecting to create more inclusion for all people. People shouldn't be left out so much, but yeah, I love business and the idea that we can do that ethically. That's why I'm part of the B Corp movement. So, first diversity company in the world to become B Corp certified, because those values are spot on. I love
They
them.
absolutely are. I applaud all of what you said. And most of all, I didn't expect to hear what I just heard in terms of you're actually a diversity and equity and inclusion practitioner who didn't start there, who
Yeah.
didn't start in HR, who literally wanted to build a business, had an entrepreneurial start. Like you said, it's instinctual, but then it was really about the $100 your mother offered you. Now we're not
Amen.
right, but that
Monies.
tells you first the business school behind you. But what I find fascinating and what I think is unique is that, first of all, who you are and how you show up in the world. Number one, so powerful on so
Thank you.
many levels. So inspirational for all the things that align in me with you as a mother, as a Black woman, out there for my siblings, my sisters, my brothers, and knowing that we have to change things. You showing up the way you are, you showing up first as a business owner, right? A strong connoisseur of the economy, understanding how it works, likes the way it tweaks. How many times do I ever hear anybody actually who looks like us talking about it like that, but realizing in order to help an enterprise, I got to go in and clean this thing up. Your head's not on right. You're never going to attract the customer you really want. It's always going to be a transaction if you go this way. But I can see, like you said, from the soul of who they are and what they're talking about, they're really trying to get somewhere else, but you can't get here or here from here. It's not like that's not right. And I so too find myself in the same situation, talking to people that really don't really understand how much they have to be and do and say and show up like you are in their authenticity, really talking about what their why is, really going after it, and then setting up businesses that actually, are set up to work the way you want them to. You created
Yeah.
the world you wanted.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
what's powerful.